If you say I'm a superwoman, and if I call myself a superwoman, and people will look at me and say, how does she do it? You know, what makes her different from me? How come I'm not good enough? So it locks us into a culture of comparison, right? And then the second thing it does is actually feeds these feelings of inadequacy. I'll never be like her.
What defines a superwoman and who defines it? Megha Sethi, a Thai-Indian entrepreneur, has been trying to dissect this meaning her whole life. As a tech business leader and a mother of 3, being described as a superwoman, superboss, and supermom often comes with a burden that women must be perfect at everything.
What does it mean?
The term itself can also push dangerous narratives about women. As Megha explains, it puts them in a trap of comparison and not feeling good enough. Most importantly, she never wants her own children to face the same burden of expectation.
I don't want to believe that I have to be super anything to be worthy. You know, this question really came to me when I was thinking about helping my older daughter, who's 15, map out her journey. And I sat back and I thought, you know, if I could design a life for her, what would it look like? She's someone I love dearly, right? And that's when I realized that this term superwoman, which means you've got to do everything well. You've got to work hard, you've got to play hard, you've got to parent hard, you've got to work out hard. It's a very heavy burden to bear. And for someone I love so much, I don't want her to bear that burden, right? So that made me think that if I don't want this for her, why am I willing to tolerate it for myself? Why don't I love myself as much to say, hey, I don't need this title of superwoman to say I am enough.
So what term does Megha prefer to call herself?
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder of 2 tech companies here in Thailand, but I'm also a mother of 3 children, wife of 1, sister to 3, daughter of 2. So the best way to introduce myself is to say I'm a professional juggler, a professional multitasker.
Looking back at her life, Megha realizes that she has always been ambitious, rebelling against cultural norms that she must be a good daughter-in-law, a good mother, and a good wife. Along the way though, Megha felt that she was caught in a hamster wheel of success to a point where she felt depleted. To reclaim one's power, Megha advises people to take a step back and reflect on themselves and accept the fact that you cannot always give 100% all the time and every time.
I think at the end of the day, you learn the art of the balancing act, right? You learn how to manage all the different roles and responsibilities that we have and try to give the best of ourselves to each one. And it looks different every day. I learned a little bit late in my life that me time is really important. Because a lot of times we start off thinking, I have to give 100% here, I have to give 100% there, and it's impossible, right? And then you burn out. And then you're tired and you're running on empty, and you're no good to anyone, and no good even for yourself, right? So one of the things I think as professional jugglers or women who are managing a lot of things, we have to learn that pause is the most important, right? Slow down. Sometimes we need to slow down in order to speed up. Well, I think the most important thing that I would want to tell any woman, you know, is what if you truly believed you were enough? Because for too long, we actually have lived believing we're not good enough. Our lives are constantly focused around the very fact that we want to feel better about ourselves because we don't feel enough. And we've lived like this for so long. So my point and my question is, what if we were to flip it? What if I felt enough? How would I respond to this situation? What would I do here? And how would I lead this situation if I felt good enough about myself? Would it change the way I did things? Would it change the way I behaved? And just look at it as an experiment, just to play with it, and then start there. Because I really believe that as women, we need to reclaim our power, and that starts with reclaiming our sense of self-worth.